You're health conscious, so getting enough sleep is high on your agenda. You do everything right, more or less, and regularly clock up the 6 to 8 hours of sleep that is required for good body chemistry. And yet, you have metabolic issues. Could your sleep still be contributing to your metabolic troubles? Join us for this episode of Better Body Chemistry TV as we look at how the noises you're exposed to while sleeping can impact your health. Better Body Chemistry TV is brought to you by Dr. Sandy, a scientist turned gremlin buster, helping you battle sugar gremlins, heifer lumps, and other health horribles through better body chemistry. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health. Now, the connection between sleep and metabolism was on the mind of a group of European researchers. Now, instead of focusing on sleep duration, they opted to look at sleep quality, specifically what happens when you sleep in a noisy environment. Now, the noise they were interested in was not a screaming baby or snoring bedfellow. They wanted to know how transportation noise impacted sleep and metabolism. Now, for the record, this is not a completely new concept. Lots of epidemiological studies have suggested that people who routinely sleep in a noisy environment are more prone to heart attacks and type 2 diabetes. The problem with these studies is when the noise is measured, how loud the noise is on average is what is primarily considered. But noise is relative. Basically, there's a difference between the noise generated by a busy road and a train track. In the case of a busy road, the noise pretty much never stops, but it's not that loud. Contrast that with a railway line. For most of the time, the track is empty, so there is no noise for most of the time. But every now and again, a seriously noisy train comes roaring through. The acoustic characteristics of this noise would be described as a slow rise to a moment or two of pronounced noise and then a gradual decline. Now, which scenario would be worse? The busy road or the train track? Logic says the train. The reason: the noise is an event, and as an event, it is significantly more likely to scare the bejeebers out of your sleeping brain, especially when you factor in that your brain can still hear when you're sleeping. Now, let's be honest. A lot of the time, eventful noise may not be enough to actually wake you up so you're sitting bolt upright in bed, but it might still have an impact. The question is this enough to arouse you so your heart pumps a little faster and you sleep a little less soundly? This is the question our research team asked. Now, the team enlisted the help of 21 adults in perfect health. Perfect. To be included, they had to be non-smokers, have no medical disorders, no psychological disorders, no sleeping disorders, and they had to have perfect hearing. These perfectly healthy people checked into the lab for a 6-night vacation. Literally. They never left the lab, and everything about their life was managed. What they ate, how much they moved, their light exposure, everything. Each night was spent in a windowless, soundproof bedroom, which was blasted with sounds played through a loudspeaker. Now, the night soundtracks were real. They'd been recorded in different places. The baseline, noise-free night, corresponded with chirping crickets and distant traffic. In terms of the numbers, this was a weighted equivalent continuous sound pressure of 30 decibels. The two experimental conditions were a little louder, clocking in at 45 decibels, but the acoustic patterns of these noises were different. In the first scenario, the non-eventful stimulation, the sound recording came from a 4-lane highway and a 2-lane country road. In the second scenario, the eventful stimulation, The soundtrack was recorded on a one-lane urban road and a railway track servicing 4 freight trains and 1 regional train. We take a look at what happened on the morning of day number 5. More noise did alter the sleep structure architecture. Those sleeping in silence had slightly fewer arousals. But there was no real difference in sleep quality of the sleepers being blasted with noise. Both groups were a little grouchy in the morning, having had their sleep interrupted a little. But there was little difference between the types of noise. Aish. Noise, all noise, gets in the way of peaceful sleep. But it doesn't really stop you from sleeping. So what's the big deal? Well, as I said, in addition to measuring the effect on sleep variables, our team also looked at what happened to insulin sensitivity. And this is where there was a difference between the noise profiles. Here is the data showing fasting blood glucose levels. People sleeping next to the equivalent of a train track had slightly higher blood glucose levels. Now, these guys were seriously healthy, so the difference was not pathological. But there was a difference. And when it comes to body chemistry, small things add up. This study suggests silence is golden. Even if you think the noise is insignificant, your brain might feel a little different. In an ideal world, we would all sleep beside a gurgling brook, being serenaded by chirping insects. But this is not what happens. Noise pollution is part of modern living. If you must sleep with noise, try to choose an environment where the noise you are exposed to while sleeping is low and consistent. That is less eventful. If this is not an option, mimic it. One way to do this is to create white noise while sleeping. The idea is to drown out the eventful noises so they fly under your sleeping brain's radar. If money is not a problem, buy a white noise machine. Otherwise, hack it. Use a radio that is not tuned into a particular station, or use a noisy ceiling fan or ticking clock. Download something off the internet and loop it. I do need to just clarify. This strategy won't work for everyone. You'll either love it or hate it. If you're in the hate it camp, that would be me, then you need a plan B. The cheap option here is earplugs, but a more long-term solution would be to soundproof your bedroom. The point? Good sleep is important for better body chemistry. Transportation noise is not the only thing that can lead to fragmented sleep. Several sleep disorders, example sleep apnea and restless leg syndrome, also cause fragmented sleep and metabolic chaos. If these are issues for you, they need to be addressed so you're able to create better body chemistry and better health. Interested in discovering more ways to create better body chemistry or need a little help getting your body chemistry on track? Visit our website at www.betterbodychemistry.com. Browse our library or enroll in one of our courses or programs. The advice is simple to follow and based on real science, not hype. Know someone who has metabolic issues? Share this video with them so that they understand the value of sleeping in silence. And if this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you catch future episodes of Better Body Chemistry TV. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health.